ready? It's the Roundtable with me, Robert Bannon. Hello, everybody. Well, look, everyone, we have a big Roundtable announcement to make. Are you ready? We are saying goodbye. We are saying goodbye to the brick wall. Goodbye, brick wall. It served us well, right? It did. It served us well for over 150 total roundtables and then another 50 quarantine cabaret and cocktails. So the brick wall served us for 200 plus hours of shows. And now we've moved. We've moved on. The brick wall is gone. What are we going to do? What are we going to do, Janelle? Well, welcome to the backyard of beautiful Bergen County, New Jersey. Hi, everybody. It's hot, but the sun is setting, and I'm excited to be here with you and for the change of scenery. I'm taking a change of scenery this summer. So we've moved away from the brick wall, and we will have a new background for you soon. But for tonight, I figured I was living my best life, just living my best life here with you all, enjoying this beautiful summer weather in the backyard. When people say, why don't I live in New York City? Because I have trees and grass and squirrels and raccoons, and I am only 10 minutes from the George Washington Bridge. Yes, you all trolled me. I saw the trolling. I did paint. I painted my old childhood bedroom. Well, actually, my brother's old childhood bedroom, because my brother's old childhood bedroom is larger than mine, because he's the favorite. I was put in the broom closet like Harry Potter or Cinderella. So I took his old bedroom, but his old bedroom was blue like hospital gown blue. See, my mother's here. She knows it. Why do you think she painted it? So his old bedroom was hospital gown blue. See, she's saying yay. Sean's my favorite right there. See? So we painted it. We painted this beautiful gray color, and you know, this is the remnants. It's on my feet. It's on my legs. It's on my shoes. It's everywhere. There's just paint everywhere. And yes, there are cicadas right there in this tree. Poisonous, giant. They look like Godzilla. They're at least this big, and I'm petrified. Hi, new viewers. Hi, everybody. Christine is here. We do have some new viewers that are watching. Hi, Roundtablers. Welcome to the Roundtable. This is this messy show, and there's no round table anywhere to be seen. I went after I went to, well, we'll talk to you all about it. We are both, yes. Thank you, Darius. Darius says that as the favorite in his family. We are both loved equally for different reasons. I'm loved because I'm charming and cute and sweet and thoughtful, and Sean is loved because they have to. Let's get to this. He'd kill me for this. I don't talk about my brother very often. So let's move on. Let's talk about the week in review. I hope you had a good 4th of July. Happy 4th of July. Happy Macy's Mattress Day sale. If you don't celebrate 4th of July, whatever you did this week, I hope you enjoyed it for sure. I sure did. Yes, we painted. I painted and painted and painted. And you know, this house is 100 years old. I think it was built in 1922. So it is 101 years old. So these walls have lived. They have seen a lot of presidents. We are, Marie. I'm coming over for dinner. Look, my father is here. He's looking at us right now. He's never made an appearance on the round table. Look, there he is.
No, don't make an appearance.
There he's not in hair and makeup. He's not in hair and makeup. Greg Bannon, live here. Yes, we are. I'm coming over, Marie, for chicken cutlets, spaghetti and meatballs. What do you make? What does Marie make? She lives around the corner. So we're coming over. So this week I was back home to Richfield Park, as Marie says, thank you. And I grew up here, and I'll see you later. So we're back, and here's my roommate. Yes, that's 6:00 in the morning. That's Claire Bear, waking me up, and he's been in my other home, you know, and he's here we're doing media training. You see, he's starting to look at the camera, and I'm excited to spend the summer with this monster. You're a monster. He is a cutie, right? He's so happy that I'm here, and we're gonna have a good old time here together. So this was my big week. We moved all my furniture. We situated. So thank you to everybody. My mother was watching now, who is a monster. She is literally Mama U-Haul. She is she, she carried my whole house on her back and moved me here. And to my dad and to my Darius, whose support from Detroit was so appreciated. To all of my family and friends, thank you for all the love this week. Right? We made it happen. Yes, we're here, and everyone asked me. My cousins, who I lived with through COVID, they sold their house, so it was time for a new place, and we're taking a time out before we find our next permanent spot. Yes, my mother says we're both great. We thank you. We love you, Mom. We're just teasing. And so, what did I do this week? I painted. I played with Clarence. I sang at the Richfield. What better way to come home to Richfield Park than to sing at the Richfield Park 4th of July fireworks? Almost 8,000 people were there. Tom, Marie's husband, was there. He's celebrating 40 years on the fire department. Congratulations to Tom. Volunteer fire department. My goodness. Planes. And I've sung there since I'm 12 years old. So it's always an honor to be able to come back home to Richfield Park and sing. And we'll talk about Richfield Park again during our shameless plug. And I also took my little Sam monster, my buddy Sam, to see the movie Elemental. Let me tell you, everyone, you should see Elemental. It is a great story. It's a really nice story about people who are different. I can't wait for this dog to go to the bathroom right on this show. And when we get 10,000 views on this video, a star is born. And, I always wish I had the cat that played piano. That cat that I'd be a millionaire. So we went to see Elemental. What a great, fantastic movie about differences, about people who live and come from different cultures in a way that's easily digestible for kids. I really enjoyed it. We got a big bucket of popcorn. We sat in the big leather recliners, and we had a grand old time. And then when he went home, I got this picture. He was wearing his Robert Bannon Unfinished Business t-shirt. And I know some of you have asked about the Unfinished Business t-shirts. There are no more Unfinished Business t-shirts. So we will have to get more merch. Maybe we need merch. Maybe we need Roundtable merch. That sounds ridiculous. You all are, if that's what you want, you're all nuts. You all need to get examined. But I say that with love, for sure. So yeah, that was my week in review. We might as well do a shameless plug while we've got it, because when I talked to Tom and Marie this week, Tom said he loved all this beginning mess. So here you go. 'Cause I'm shameless. It feels right to be back here on a Thursday, right? Like Tuesdays felt weird to me too. They were just not okay. They were just weird. Shameless plug. Right now, the Roundtable Talks that's up is a really great chat about inspiration. It's Valika B. She runs Set Apart and Chosen, which is a gospel. It's like MediaTakeout.com, or it's like those hip hop websites, or World Star. It's videos, but it's about gospel and about inspirational messages. It's really good. You should really check it out. She's self-made. She did this by circumstance, and she's starting a Valika B blog, which is all about entertainment news. And she asked me if maybe I would want to pop on. Kidding me? Pop on? So I want to shout out Valika B, and also really great interviews with Crystal and Dr. Nicole. Dr. Nicole is from the TV show Put a Ring on It on OWN. She was the expert, and they do a really great inspirational speech. So if you have not seen me and Valika B, Dr. Nicole, and Crystal, you can go over to the YouTube channel, which you should obviously like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification button to make sure you see us. And if you want, as we shamelessly plug, yes, Thursdays, I promise. As we go back to things, I want to just say, as we talk about Richfield Park and everything, the Richfield Park free concert with me is July 26th. So if you're in the New York, New Jersey area and you want to come out on a Wednesday night and see me sing for an hour and do some Great American Songbooks and some classics, it will be July 26th. And then we do a residency at Patsy's Restaurant a couple times a year. It will be a Sunday in September. So stay tuned, stay seated. Lots more of me coming up. If you want to follow me on the Instagram, you can go to @Robert M. Bannon. And on Threads, which I don't even know what that means, but I personally do not enjoy the Twitter. So I'm going to I will be promoting and posting the show on Thread. So Thread away. So find me there. I don't even know what the heck it is, but I appreciate you. Oh, Marie, thank you so much. And I promise I'll be singing once before I go, especially for you. I appreciate you. All right. So what else happened this week? Well, I know you know what's next. You all watch. You're regulars here. You're the good old crowd that's here every week with me. Hey, friend Hank.
I'll be there for you. How you doing?
So Robbie Roselle was just here. He was just in the pre-show over on Instagram, which is at 6:30, which is a crazy, messy show. This dog is totally stealing all of my mojo, and as he should. And Robbie did such a great job with his show. Take a peek at some highlights.
I can love you, I'll be the nerd to know me. With your love, what more do I need? Stars keep burning, and nothing about us is perfect or clear. But when death calls me, I'd rather be here. There's something between us that nobody else wants to.
Yes, such a brilliantly hard musical show that he did with Mauricio Martinez of On Your Feet. And what a beautiful, Liz Calloway was there. So tomorrow me and Robbie are going to see Liz Calloway with some of his friends. He got a table at 54 Below. We'll tell you about that on next week's show, which is always going to be fun. Next week, Owen Thiel, who stars in the new movie about musical theater camp that stars Ben Platt, he will be here, as well as some of the cast of Abbott Elementary. It's the one I don't. She's the sister of, I don't know exactly who for sure. So I will get. Let me not say anything. It's been a rough week, y'all. It's been a lot of changes here. I also it's rough. I also want to just say that I was flipping through the channels and I came home from seeing the Richmond Park fireworks and checked out this fireworks show. Special guest, friend to our show from back in the day. Take a peek.
You better sing, Lisa Fisher. Ah! No.
Oh yes, I had to sing along, but Lisa, we're going to be inside from now on. But Lisa Fisher has been someone who was on the Quarantine Show back in the day, and it was Darlene Love, Lisa Fisher, and Judith Hill, and they all were the stars of the documentary 20 Feet from Stardom. And 20 Feet from Stardom won the Oscar for Best Documentary that year, all about background singers. Lisa Fisher is a background singer with the Rolling Stones, with Luther Vandross, with Sting, with Nine Inch Nails. She has sung with everyone. She has one of the greatest voices, and she was with Tina Turner for Tina Turner's last tours. And she was always with the Stones singing Give Me Shelter, and she was doing that for many, many years. Now she tours on her own. She was phenomenal on the 4th of July. We talked about Patti LaBelle's rendition. Well, look up Lisa Fisher's rendition. Lisa is a class act and one of the best concerts I've ever seen in my life. She sent me a really sweet message after I posted that, and she said she was sitting in traffic trying to leave the fireworks, and she wanted to show her love, and she can't wait to come back onto this show. And she sent love and respect and all of that. And it's surreal that as a kid, How Can I Ease the Pain, which won the Grammy that year back in the 1990s when she tried to go on her solo tour, won the Grammy, writes me, I'm just so grateful to be here in this crazy, crazy world. So we're just talking it all the way through. If you are watching right now and you see Robbie Roselle just sent X's and O's and X's for his fantastic and fabulous, amazing show that we love, 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 everything that Robbie does. And my shows would not be a quarter as wonderful if it wasn't for him directing them. And his shows are the epitome, the top notch, the resistance. Creme de la Resistance, whatever you say. Go stream his new single. It's available now on Spotify or Tidal or Apple Music or wherever you do. Just type in Robbie Roselle and listen to all of his stuff. Make sure you check him out when he does his next show. So listen, long story short, me rambling on and on in this new environment, in this new world where I'm not used to it. I usually just have the brick wall. I want to say we had the pleasure. I never imagined in my lifetime, in my career, that when this show started during COVID with a co-host, and had no graphics and we had no idea what we were doing and we never did anything, that the thought never crossed my mind that we would do red carpets. It was always about what guests could we get. And when I came on, Robbie's idea was the Roundtable, and Robbie's idea was to continue to do the show. When I continued the show, I never thought we would get the thousands of views. We're up to 750,000 views, and that people would start to reach out to us to cover their events, galas, openings, movie premieres, award shows. And I never, ever thought that we would be invited to something like the Tribeca Film Festival. It was our first year at the Tribeca Film Festival. There's a lot of movies and there's a lot of press, and they kind of divvy the press out amongst all of the movies. So you ask for movies you can make, and then they try to fit you in onto their red carpet. And it was a wonderfully organized, well done event. Broadway openings should take a hint from how they run Tribeca, because Broadway openings are messy. And this was just so seamlessly done. Really well done, really wonderful job. Shout out to Rogers and Cohen, who does a beautiful job promoting and doing the PR for it. We went to 4 premieres this year to start things off. I was in Detroit for doing Motor City Pride, and so we were on the weekday schedule only, but we got some really great stuff. Some names you're going to know, some names you don't, some movies you may have heard of, some movies you may not have. But what I can promise you is that Tribeca Film Festival was out and about, premiering some of the greatest new works that are about to come to your screens, either TV screens and movie screens. And the Roundtable was there to cover it, and we got ourselves into all sorts of mess. Are you ready? The Roundtable goes to Tribeca. This rest of this interview is a big giant montage of all the fun that we had. Buckle your seatbelt. Enjoy this. Well, the Roundtable comes to you live at the Tribeca Film Festival. We are here for one of the world's premier film festivals. How they picked me, this 5th grade school teacher from New Jersey, I have no idea. But you know what? We're not going to ask questions. We're just going to accept, and we're going to have a good old time. This is where films are made, distributed, purchased by companies that then you end up watching in the cinemas and on TV around your neck of the woods. So we're going to be having some shorts, we're going to have some animated, we're going to have music videos, they're going to have documentaries, they're going to have full-length features, and they all are here, right here in Tribeca. Robert De Niro, years ago, came up with a group of investors to support New York filmmaking. And you know we love to support a local thing, and as a little local Jersey person, we're all here for the Tribeca Film Festival. Forget Cannes, forget Sundance. New York City, baby, right here in the heart of Tribeca.
Only me and my family that was struggling, because every family has their...
How are you?
Hey, I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you? It's a beautiful day.
It is a beautiful day, and it is so nice to see you.
Thank you.
Act your face off.
Exactly. I work my ass off, and maybe ass on soon enough.
Well, I know that's the truth. I saw the documentary, and to share your real story, to share the story about your father, is a whole different set of vulnerability.
The reason why I wanted to share this story is throughout my life, I feel like no one really understood of what it's like being deaf and surviving and making it through. And this documentary is my opportunity to show that and be vulnerable. And I feel like I need to tell the truth and have everyone listen. And that's going to affect their understanding and their perspectives to have better future for deaf children out there. And just they're children who happen to be deaf, or children who have CP, or children who are blind. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's so important to share that you're never alone. So many families have their own situations and struggles that they have to go through and deal with, and so this is mine, and I wanted to share this story to show everyone that they're not alone.
Well, my father lost his father at 16 years old, and I know that the emotional effect of that has gone through generations, through my parents, through me, through my brother, through his grandchildren. How do you have the courage? How did you find the courage to share this and the effect that it's had on you?
That's my point, is my dad taught me courage.
Yes.
My father and I were close when I was growing up, and then he was in his car accident, which really changed my life. But it taught me, even though he was paralyzed and lived the rest of his life in a wheelchair, he no longer could play golf, he couldn't drive, he couldn't run, he couldn't swim, because of course he was paralyzed for the rest of his life. But when I saw my dad go through that, I was looking at myself and I was like, being deaf isn't a big deal. So what? I'm deaf. The real problem is all of you in the outside world and how hearing people perceived the deaf community. And so I knew even more than they did, but my dad taught me that. And it was like, come on, I'm deaf, but being deaf isn't a big deal. I felt confident. I didn't care what people thought about me. I didn't need to be fixed. I'm not broken. I just had to keep going. And it was just a matter of time. And then amazingly enough, I ended up winning an Oscar. And so I feel like I owe my dad so much. And that's why my film's called To My Father.
Well, to fathers everywhere, to families, to mothers, to anyone raising children, this is such an inspirational story.
Exactly.
I teach fifth grade in real life, and all different students need to see the success and the struggle that has brought so much joy, and what you are is such an inspiration to all of us, to humankind, mankind, across this whole world. Congratulations. Congratulations. It's such beautiful to meet you. Congratulations. Such a beautiful story. You want to see me practice my close-up? Here's my close-up. But you see the eyes? Acting school. Sad, happy, scared. In love also looks like scared. You're welcome. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you so much.
When you had this, I know you're familiar, you're like the dad movie person.
That's right, yeah.
How did that idea come about, that dad stories needed to be told, and then in particular this story?
Well, I'm a dad, so that's easy, right? When my son was born, it was transformational for my life. And I was working at Spike TV here in the city at the time. So I actually was working on stuff about dads at Spike, which was the first network for men. And now it's Paramount. But
Yes.
so that's a little bit of that background. When so my executive producer, Mark Finley, introduced me to Troy a year and a half ago. And when I saw his speech at the Oscars, it was like, Mark, we got to tell this story. Like, there's obviously amazing stuff below the surface of this. This is so incredible and so heartbreaking. And so I pitched it to Troy, and he came down to Austin, and we started the journey.
Well, it is such a moving story, and his journey is so moving. And what you did, as someone, I don't have a kid, but I have a father.
But that's the thing.
Who drives me a little crazy.
Well,
With love.
This is part of it.
But with love, absolutely. And there's so many stories that are not told about the dad. So what you're doing really is like the universe's work. When you got to meet with Troy and come up with this idea of the story, we all cried when we watched this. How was it to be living and standing next to him while he went through this journey and told this story?
Well, the thing that was the most, honestly, it was really maybe one of the most exciting things I've ever experienced as a creative person is we filmed this interview with him, and Sean, our director, is incredible, and we were in the edit room for a long time trying to figure it out, because it's equally accessible to a deaf and a hearing audience,
Yes.
and that presented a lot of interesting challenges.
Sure.
When we screened a fine cut, so to speak, with Troy, and to see his face get emotional, and because he's seeing his dad celebrated, that's why we do these kind of things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, if you saw him in Coda and he broke your heart and made you feel emotions and love, wait till you hear his story. It's beautiful. Congratulations. I wish you all the success. It's going to help. This film helps a lot of people.
Well, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Congratulations. All the best. Enjoy the festival.
thanks a
Thank
lot.
you.
All
Thank
right.
you so much. Thank you. How's it going? Nice to meet you. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Yeah,
Austin, Texas in the house.
That's right. That's right.
A wet age, speaking of parents and families and the nostalgia that this film is, did you know that you wanted to be a director and that films mattered to you?
Well, I knew films mattered very early, right? Like, I'm a child of the early 80s and Star Wars and Spielberg and all those films, magical films. And so my brother and I, we actually moved to England, so we had a real reverence for the American films because we were at a young age, and we grew up there, and we had a VHS recorder, and we made films. We made like BMX bike films.
Okay.
And,
okay.
Yeah, there was a movie. What was it called? BMX Bandits.
Okay.
And Nicole Kidman was in it when she was a kid. Yeah. And it was that was the inspiration behind us filming ourselves jumping, and I got into a bike wreck one time, and I had to go to the hospital because I like busted my abdomen or something. And I was a little tiny kid.
So
that was I loved it, and then it wasn't until college that I was like, man, I don't see me pursuing the psychology department. That was kind of in the philosophy. That's what I thought I was going to study. And then I had a buddy, Ken, who was in the production department. I was helping him a lot, and I was like, oh man, this might actually be more practical. I could be, and it fit.
you help many more people than you'd be able to on a couch in a psychology office.
Maybe, hopefully.
How do you marry between the two worlds of doing fictional work or film work versus a documentary? What makes you choose one way or the other?
Oh, that's a good question. I have a real passion for both. My career has been come up through the documentary style filmmaking, marketing films, and different branding and stuff like that. But I have a real passion for both.
Yes, and then this. I mean, oh my goodness, Break Your Heart and Make It Art. This story is so beautiful and heartfelt. How was it overall when you get to watch it screen today in front of an audience to feel the work that you put into this project and see it on screen?
Yeah, this is it. I'm so excited to have our team here, all that hard work, sweat, blood, and tears, and to screen the film with an audience in front of on the big screen. Yeah, this is it.
Well, we're so excited to see what's next and for the world to see this. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks so much, man.
Thank you. So nice to meet you. Thank you so much. Congrats. Well, we're back. We're here at Tribeca Film Festival. This time we're talking baseball. That's right. We are a multifaceted show here. Well, we're going to be talking with some of the creators and the writers and the producers of a new documentary called The League right here on the red carpet of Tribeca. Wonderful. It's so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
We're
you.
big. We're not talking vampires. We're not talking action movies tonight. We are talking The League. How did you get involved in this, and what made you be a part of this film in particular?
We've been trying to develop this movie, this documentary at first it started as a movie and then it became a documentary over, I feel like 6 or 7 years ago, and then I partnered with Quest and Zara and everybody, and it's been our baby and our brainchild.
Well, I was reading about you and doing some research. You do a lot of charity work. You've done a lot of work for HIV/AIDS. You've done a lot of work for home country and all the work that you do for people around this story being told as a film. What do you hope people leave this theater today and after this premieres here at Tribeca with? What message? What resonated with you?
I mean, there's a lot. There really, really is a lot. The film is so important. It's about the rise of the Negro Baseball League. And, for a while it was segregated and eventually it was integrated, but for a long time it provided a lot of jobs for a lot of the community. And so when it did eventually integrate, it was amazing for progress, but it did have an effect on the community. And, there's a lot of work to be done and a lot of lessons to be learned from what happened then to what's still happening now, and there's a lot of progress that still needs to be made.
Well, thank you for all the entertainment you give us, and thank you so much for this project and all that's to come. We really look forward to seeing all that's left.
I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Why they trusted us to do baseball? I mean, I watch baseball. I mean, I have watched a lot of Yankee games in my life. But my expertise, like if this was Trivia Pursuit, there's like a sports triangle. Am I dating myself with Trivia Pursuit? Yeah. How are you?
Good.
Congratulations on this film being accepted here at Tribeca. What was the moment when you realized this was a film that you wanted to be a part of?
Oh, it must have been about a long time ago when this gentleman, where is he?
I think he's right.
No, Byron Motley.
Yes.
He's the one who basically told us about this story about his father, who was a Negro League umpire, and he had done all these interviews with all these former Negro League players. And it was something that we started to say, this should be a film. He knew it should be a film. And we were able to bring all these people together, Radical Media, 2029, Play Action, Magnolia, to make this thing come to life. So, and I grew up being a baseball fan.
Yes.
And so for me, it was like coming full circle, back to baseball, because I had sort of like forgotten about baseball with basketball.
Yeah, yes.
So baseball, I'm back to baseball.
Well, is it true you started as an editor in this business?
Yes.
Working on other baseball films. This is
I worked a lot of films about baseball.
a lot of film, like A League of Their Own, like films that have been about baseball, but to tell the true story.
It's always, the wonderful thing about documentaries is that you get an opportunity to tell true stories.
Yes.
And to see how those true stories are very human and very complicated, And when you are able to do them well, it really can come through.
Well, we're really excited to see it.
Thank you very
Congratulations on this
Thank you
beautiful
very
work.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
A pleasure. So nice to meet you. Harold, how are you?
Good, how are you?
All right, listen, as a Yankee fan, your Oriole and Seattle days are not my favorite.
Well, thank you. That means I must have played pretty good against your team.
No E4s here. No second base. If you know a little bit about baseball, why this film, you moderating tonight's conversation, why is this conversation so important, and why is this film so important to baseball fans, but people, American history across the board?
Well, it's American history, for one, and then from a baseball standpoint, it's almost like the players in the Negro Leagues are mythical characters. And now, with this film, the footage you'll see, it brings them to life. You really see Josh Gibson. You really see Cool Papa Bell. You really see Satchel Paige. So it's really brings them alive, and that's what this movie's about.
I'm really excited to see it as a baseball fan. I'm really excited. You are an amazing story because the pivot you made from playing sports to media and commentating, Emmy Awards and all that you've done, it's an inspiration that there's a second career, a second life after.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, this is definitely the closest I'm ever going to get to being in the Baseball Hall of Fame. I can promise you that. But this movie, The League, is something that you really have to check out. We're at the Tribeca Film Festival. We're saying, see you later. We are here on the red carpet of Tribeca for another premiere. Well, this hip-hop head is coming to you live from the Tribeca Film Festival, where we're celebrating 50 years of hip-hop with a brand new docuseries by MTV called Delicale about the relationship between Latin music and hip-hop. So we have talent, we have the producers, we have motorcycles, we have Adrian behind the camera. New York City. How are you?
A pleasure to meet you.
Congratulations on the premiere of the New York episode. What gave you the idea? What happened? Where were you the moment you said, this is a story that needs to be told?
Wow. I think the idea started back me moving to the U.S. when I was 9 with my mom. I think growing up here and not seeing a lot of stories about Latinos when I turn on the TV is something that I've always carried with me and inspired me to tell a lot of stories. For this particular show, the idea came around 2015. I had a lot of friends who were hosts on LA radio who were of Latin descent, but I was never hearing any rappers of Latin descent on those radio stations. So I started to ask questions. How come I grew up on a lot of Latino hip hop, people like Fat Joe, Big Pun, Cypress Hill, Lighter Shade of Brown, like the list goes on and on and on. And I was like, what's going on? How come there's not more of us on the radio? And there was the reggaeton station, but it was kind of segregated. It was like, there's hip hop and there's reggaeton. And I was like, this is all part of the same seed. I want people to know that Latinos were there from the beginning, and I want the contributions of Latinos to be part of the conversation. So it started in 2015. Back then, there was a lot of people who said no. They didn't believe in the story. They thought the story was too niche and that there weren't enough stars to carry it. But now we're here 2023 at Tribeca about to premiere the episode.
You sure are. And the hip-hop, in general, hip-hop celebrating 50 years this year, and the historical elements, a lot of the pioneers, including the Latin pioneers, they get overlooked by some of the megastars of now. What was it like to find these people that started hip-hop and sit down with them 50 years, 40 years later and hear their origin story?
I think sometimes we lose perspective because now we see hip-hop and reggaeton and a lot of music dominating the charts.
Sure.
But there was a lot of people back then who didn't get the recognition, who paved the ways, who put those bricks to start, building those bridges, who weren't able to make a career out of hip-hop. They had to go get other jobs. And I think it's important that we turn the spotlight that now is on our culture back to the people that helped the culture be there and the people who didn't get to necessarily see the fruitions of their labor either monetarily or through recognition. So I think that's one of the things I'm most excited about here. It's like we get to see some of our stars and get to see them in a personal level, but you also might get to see people you don't know who you should know if you love this culture.
Well, if you want to know about the Nicky Jams and the Fat Joes and the Big Pun,
They're all here.
They're all here.
And there's also the Mr. Shicks and Joe Conzos and Charlie Chases and Renatos and like all kinds of people, not just in New York, but then we go to Panama, which if you listen to reggaeton and you don't know about Panama, you don't know your history. We go to PR, we talk about bomba, y plena. Then we go to Cuba and we see how the bata and the drums that come from Africa for bata are so close to the drums from Puerto Rico and plena. Then we go to Spain and we go to Colombia and we go to Argentina and we go to Mexico. So you get to see how the ripples from the seeds in New York spread through Latin America, went to Spain, and now mixed with the local culture, mixed with people's own traditions, now have become this other beautiful thing. And that's what I'm most excited about, for people to see, through music, how Latinos, we have a lot in common, and we also have, each country has their own history that's rich, and each country deserves to have their story be told.
I'm sold. MTV, Paramount, wherever you get, we're sold. Congratulations. So nice to meet you. I'm really looking forward to seeing it. Thank you. Hey, Flipstar, what's going on?
I'm good, man. The weather's looking good. We looking good. We smelling good.
You absolutely. Power 105 in the house. What's going on today?
Yes.
Well, firstly, can I talk about the shoes? Well, what? Let's go, Chucks. A little something, a little bling, a little together.
A little appetizer.
You started being a DJ at what, 14 years old?
14. Wow, you did your research.
Don't sleep on me. Don't
Yeah,
let this blonde hair and
14.
blue eyes fool you. So when you started DJing, when you started in this hip hop movement, what does it feel like 50 years of hip hop and now also to be celebrating the Latin connection to hip hop here tonight?
It feels amazing. It feels excited. Who would have ever thought that hip hop would be where it's at right now, 50 years later, So me being raised in Harlem, I always used to listen to hip hop, either with my friends, with my family, at a house party. So it was always in us as Latinos that grew up with African Americans and in the community of hip hop community. So I'm just excited, and look where it's at right now. We implemented hip hop with Latin together. It's like an ingredient. We're making history right now, such as like Messia, you got Bad Bunny, you got Anuel, you have a lot of big Latin artists that are globally now doing music that's amazing.
Selling
and
out
I'm super
stadiums.
excited. Yep.
All right, here's my big question. One last question for the DJ question that I've wondered all the time. If I'm on Friday night and Saturday night and I'm listening to you on Power 105 or you're on the radio and you say for me to come to Queens and then you're hosting a party and then after Queens you're going to the Bronx and then after the Bronx you're going to what are you speeding through these streets? How do you do it all? Where do you get everywhere?
You gotta ask my driver that. I'm not the one driving, but at the end of the day, we're in New York City, so we sometimes might be in 42nd Street. Next thing you know, you're in the Bronx like in 30 minutes, 20 minutes. So it's just New York style. It's the lifestyle that we live in. And I'm not the only one that's doing 2 or 3 clubs. There's a lot of multiple DJs, top DJs, that's doing the same thing. It's called grinding. It's called keeping your foot on the pedal.
Collect the check and play the music.
Exactly.
I like it. It's an honor to talk to you. We'll be listening.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Nice to meet you. Thanks so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. So you produced this piece.
I'm the executive producer of the series and the director of the New York episode.
So what made you feel like this story had to be told? What are you trying to tell with this amazing series?
The series in general covers trying to find what's the origin of the urban rhythms we listen to today. So it's finding out where it was born and how we got to where we are now. So we interview the seeds and the flowers, that we like to say.
That's what I love. It's like the legends and the new generation.
Exactly. And in this case, specifically in New York, we do that with hip hop, and we're trying to convey the story of how the Latino community were essential to the creation of hip hop.
Now I just need you to teach me to have rhythm, because that's my biggest problem.
Hey, we all have it. We all have it in there. We all have it. Just a matter of letting it go.
We're looking so forward to being able to see the docuseries and to see it on television. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Really appreciate you meeting you. Thank you.
Thank you so much
for having us. Congrats.
Have a good one.
How's it going? We are celebrating this film today, and a little bit about you, Charlie. I mean, you go back to New York radio, New York hip hop scene, WBLS.
1975.
Nine.
Before radio, before records, when it was just the street scene.
Just the street scene.
Actually, the first Latino in hip hop. So.
The first Latino in hip hop. What does it feel like to be celebrating 50 years of hip hop, and then a show, a movie, a docuseries like this documenting the legacy of the Hispanic culture and hip hop?
It's very humbling. I mean, you know, to think about where I came from, and now to be able to have a platform like this and tell my story, my struggles, and for everyone to see it, it's crazy humbling. I mean, I can't even put enough words together.
When you see the new generation of Latin hip hop stars and selling out football stadiums, they stand on the back of the work that you did out in the street. What was the struggle to be heard and seen and taken seriously by the media back in the 70s and 80s?
Well, first of all, we had to be taken seriously by our community before we could go there. And there was a lot of pushback. There was a lot of resistance. We got through that. We were accepted now in the playgrounds. Then we accepted in the clubs. Then we started going into recordings and stuff like that. And even that was a hassle. A lot of pushback. Some of the record labels didn't want to accept what we were doing. They were talking about, this is never going to work. This is never going to sell. And then along comes rappers that like, boom, and kicks the doors open. Yeah.
Well, Cold Crush Brothers, the history. Know your history about hip hop. Congratulations. Happy 50 years of hip hop. We're looking ready for more music and more doors being
Thank you so much.
kicked in.
Looking forward to making some more.
All right, so Joe, you're on a red carpet, and you're usually the one with the camera.
I'm usually with you guys back here, and it feels so weird being on the other side.
But you've documented some of hip hop's greatest moments.
Yeah, I'm known for taking a few pictures here and there.
And
in
books?
In books and documentaries and you name it.
How does it feel to be celebrating this particular movie, Latin fusion with hip hop, and the 50th anniversary of hip hop in general?
I'm happy to be a part of it. It's a narrative that has to be told, and I'm just glad that I'm part of the narrative.
When you are in your car or you're putting headphones on, you're working out, taking a walk.
Don't ask. What am I listening to?
No, I want to know when. I was going to ask, what are you listening to? But I'm not going to ask that question. Do you ever hear songs and it brings back memories?
Of course. I don't listen to commercial music. I listen to that company that you pay a monthly subscription
I
to.
hear that.
And I just put in a channel that brings me back to my youth.
That's the magic of music.
That's it.
Absolutely.
Music brings everybody together.
It's a pleasure.
We should have more music out there.
Absolutely.
We should.
We sure should. It's
Yes.
such a pleasure and honor. Hey, how are you? Firstly, before we talk about poetry and hip hop and all things let's talk about this outfit.
Thank you.
Come on, jumpsuit, hat, the whole thing. Yes. We are here. The nail polish to the shoes. You can't see it. Look at it. Done. The movie before this was a Patricia Fields documentary. You should have been out here.
Oh, that's very kind of you.
You have been a part of this hip hop scene and the New York scene from practically the beginning. What is it like to see a docuseries like this document the relationship between the Latin community and hip hop?
It's, long overdue. I'm so happy to be representing the women in hip hop because that's just one of the pieces that if Latinos have been left out, Latina women have been left out of the history, but we are here, we exist. I'm here also representing my friend, may she rest in peace, Hurricane G, who was the first Latina hip hop artist that I ever heard. And, and I followed in her footsteps. We made music together and, so I'm here not just representing myself, representing her, and representing for all of us.
Absolutely. Now, your name is The Witch, right?
Yes, it is.
Can you give us a little history? How did it start? The Good Witch. How did it start?
Well, my parents got married on Halloween. When we write, we spell. We are spelling. We are creating spells. I've had some paranormal activity in my life, so it's a combination of all of those things.
I'm scared. I am not messing with you, but if I see a chicken walking around...
Well, I have a whole. I shared it, but I say I don't. What is it? The whole rap is I wrote my name on an open mic list to spit. It was a lunar eclipse. It was 1996, April 3rd. My spoken word the first time was heard, and I emerged as a New Eurekan poet. I didn't even have a flow yet. Bobito hosted. The seed was planted since then. I just had to grow it from the time I was 5 when I learned to recite from my mom, who herself couldn't read or even write. She was my beacon of light. She changed the course of my life. She saw my mom become a wife on Halloween night. So no, I don't kill chickens or do voodoo pin sticking, and my mission isn't wicked. Superstition, no Wiccan, no Spanish Inquisitions, no spooky premonitions, no treating, no tricking. It's just oral tradition. I only spell with words.
I wrote that. No, you are so damn good. Oh my. Congratulations. Such an honor and pleasure to meet you.
Great
Enjoy
to meet
tonight.
you too. Thank you. Many blessings. Thank you for capturing this.
Please.
Emana behind the camera. I see you.
Hey. I do not need lighting because I moisturize and I use, I don't know what it's called. You buy it at Target. You put it on your face. Cream. Sometimes, you still get acne even when you're 40 and you got to get like a little Stridex or Proactive or Neutrogena face wash with the beads. I like the beads. Do you have the beads? Because I want to feel the scrub, like get it off, because we have no ring lights. We're all natural. What do you get when you combine empanadas, cannibalism, weed, massages, love, a little Sweeney Todd? You get the horrors of Dolores Roach. I'm never going to eat an empanada ever again because Amazon Prime, horror, this is not like horror. Horror scares me. Do you like horror movies? Well, we're going to give it a go. Roundtable on the Tribeca Film Festival. Hi, Justina. How are you?
I'm good.
All you had me at Sweeney Todd, cannibalism, and empanadas.
Okay.
But listen, you played. Chicago's in the house, by the way. Hey,
Well, who's from Chicago?
No, just
what? Chi-town.
You have played the sweetheart, the girlfriend, the fun, the nice.
Yeah.
You're a little sinister in this.
I know, and I love it. But she's still the sweetheart, the girlfriend, the nice. She just has that dark side to her. Yes.
We're never gonna eat an empanada ever the same.
Come on, you are.
I love an empanada. I love them.
So do I.
When you look at your career, your trajectory from the theater you've done and coming from Chicago and coming to New York and LA and now the television series and then to lead this piece, what does it feel like? What do you feel like from when you started till now to be on this carpet?
I mean, it feels amazing. It's been a long time, though, because your career goes like this, So this is this kind of moment right now.
Yes.
So I live in the present, It's like the past is the past, and this is where I'm at right now, and it feels amazing.
Well, I know that July 7th, I'm ready to binge watch this
Oh, my God, me too.
I am ready to watch.
Me too.
Congratulations.
Thank
it's such
you.
an honor to meet you.
Thank
You're
you.
so wonderful.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Alejandro, congratulations.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much.
You're not a nurse. You're not working in a hospital.
Oh,
on this
he's a
one.
nurse today. Woo! Nurse Casey in the house.
No, Nurse Casey in the house.
Yeah. I mean, he's not taking care of people this time. He's a little different this time.
When you read the sides, did you self-tape? Did you sit down? Did they approach you for this? How did this happen?
I got a self-tape from my manager, and I looked at it and I was like, oh my God, this is cool. This is bizarre and weird and wild. Like, I'm gonna just have fun with this, see what happens. And then I put it on, sent it out into the world, and like actors do, you send the audition out, and I like to call them like farts in the wind.
Yes,
and they
what
just like,
really.
it's gone, that's it. And then like a few weeks later, like, hey, we want to see you again. I was like, okay. So I put it on, and then like a third one audition, and a fourth callback, and a fifth callback, and a sixth callback, and then finally like, we want you for this part. And I was like blown away by it. Like, I never played anything like this, and I was just so excited to stick my teeth into it.
Oh, you have this. I mean, you talk about empanadas. The bio says empanadas, weed, love, Washington Heights.
All wonderful.
Cannibalism.
Things. Well, not that. No, come on.
No, but everything else is great.
Everything was great. I mean, I love empanadas with like chicken.
Me too.
With beef.
Yeah, me too.
Guava and cheese all day.
I love guava and cheese, but This is the empanada you've never seen before. Amazon Prime. We're all going to be streaming. We're ready.
Yes. Oh, y'all got to get ready. Eat or be eaten
Season
July
2.
7th.
July 7th. You could stream the whole thing. It's coming out in one piece.
Yes, sir. Prime Video. Stream it all. July 7th.
Thank you. So nice to meet you. I am not having Wilson Cruz on a red carpet and not have you here. And I have just emailed your people, and I was like, we need Wilson Cruz.
No, it's not my show, so I was like, I didn't think anybody would want to talk to me.
Well,
that's all.
we're here with, to me, you're a trailblazer and forefront. Happy Pride. Thank you, Wilson Cruz, for everything you've done.
Thank you. Happy Pride to you. Happy Pride, everybody.
You made the most beautiful docuseries about the history of television and queer television, and you broke such a barrier. When you see the generation and how queer television is in the culture, how does it feel, through the years from when you came out and made such waves? How do you feel about the movement?
I feel like we are in such great hands right now. I feel like this generation, the millennials, what do you call them, Gen Z?
Yes.
What's after Gen Z? I don't know.
I'm old. I don't know.
I feel like we've done an amazing job with these next few generations. That we're in this bump in the road, and I need us all to hang on, but not just hang on, but all hands on deck and do your part. Be vocal. We need our allies to be vocal. But I feel like if we can get through this moment whole, which is a big if, we're going to be in really great hands, because I think this next generation, these next few generations, really understand that this has been bullshit all along. Excuse my French.
No, it's the truth.
And so I feel really good about it. I do.
I do too. I teach 5th grade in real life, and I see 10, 11, 12-year-olds that come out to me as the gay whisperer teacher, and they don't look at it the way that it was when I was a kid. And that's thanks to people like you who have really stood in forefront.
And thank you for being a great teacher who's willing and able to speak to that, to them honestly and truthfully. You can be a sounding board for them.
Thank you.
I'm on the national board of GLSEN, and so we work every freaking day to make sure that schools are a safe space for all of our students. So on the forefront of all that work are teachers.
Thank you.
We're my favorite people, so thank you.
And artists that
No,
affect
teachers are literally changing the world every single day.
Well, I can tell you this. I was in Studio City, and Wilson Cruz has got a convertible going down the street by Harvest Moon. Now that I said Harvest Moon, they should give us some free food. So look out. He's ready. Music bumping.
Was I living my life?
Yes, live your life, Wilson Cruz. It's so good. It was a real honor to meet you. Thank you. Enjoy tonight. Thank you so much. How are you, Kay?
I'm good. K-Todd.
K-Todd?
Yeah.
Two-time Tony nominee.
Yeah.
Grosse Point Blank.
Yeah.
A litany of credits in television and theater and film. What brought you to this project in particular?
Well, it was in the middle of the pandemic when we started it, so it was just another audition. But then I found out that Aaron Mark, the creator of the show, we went to the same high school in Houston, Texas. So that was sort of fun. So it was nice to be on a project with a homeboy,
Yes.
making TV together. I mean, he went there 10 years after I did, but still. It was nice to have share the same roots with someone. And it was his first time TV creators. It was fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. And it sounds fantastic. I mean, you're talking about a really fun concept.
Yeah, Sweeney Todd, when that's your jumping off point, you're doing pretty good.
Sweeney Todd and throwing some empanadas and some fun, and it's a party.
Yeah.
Well, we're so excited to see it. Congrats. I want to see you back on stage. I want to see you on Broadway.
Well, yeah, hopefully that'll happen next season. Just came off Broadway.
Yes.
But the play called Downstate. But yeah.
Yes.
I love it.
Congratulations. We'll be watching. Hi, how are you? Congratulations.
Thank you.
What? Firstly, you are so beautiful.
Thank you.
You better be in this.
My friend, before this or nice still, I usually work as a model, so.
I can tell.
Fashion. This is straight from Paris Paco Rabanne.
This is straight from Target.
It's okay. I shop at Target too.
Okay. But if I was walking the red carpet in Tribeca, I'd want it straight from Paris too. What does it feel like? I'm doing a little research. You come from the podcast world with this series. And then how did it transition for you to carry through and come to the television series?
Well, of course, like you said, it's been 5 years that I've worked on this project. The honor to be working on it, a little longer than everyone else, but to still be with it. Aaron and I, who's a close friend of mine, he's the creator. He's created this whole world for me, and we have such a close bond, not only as friends but collaboratively. He doesn't hold back. I don't hold back. And coming to this point, if I have your question right, how we got here? Can you say it one more time?
How was the transition from you doing the
Oh,
podcast?
right. Well, audially you give a different sort of performance, and now getting to live in the world, you get to expand that so much more. You get to touch and feel and all the smells of the empanadas every day. We smell those empanadas, and so it's so much more fulfilling that I've gotten to feel all those different forms of the show, and it's enlightening. This is really my big first film thing, so it was a big learning curve. So having that happen and living only like 3 blocks away from where this happened, I know. So yeah, I think that would really say how it feels. It's just amazing.
Amazing. Well, July 7th, we'll be streaming straight through.
on Prime Video.
Amazon Prime. We're never eating an empanada the same again.
And you shouldn't, but you still should eat empanadas.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Congratulations. Enjoy it. And
Thank
enjoy
you
every
so
second.
much.
Thank you.
Jessica,
How are you?
Hi, I am so
excited. I am so excited for you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about your part and what you add to this crazy fun show.
My part is the coolest, most surrealist
I know it.
part. I can't even explain, but I will try. This is an actress named Flora Frias. She's a telenovela superstar.
Love it.
Redeeming herself here in New York. And she becomes obsessed with this urban legend of this murderous Mrs. Dolores Roach. Is she real? Is she alive? Is she dead? I don't know. She gets involved in this play that becomes a huge Broadway hit. But do they have the story straight? We don't know. But
We don't know.
But facts will be checked.
Will we find out by the end of the episode?
Oh, you will.
Oh,
by the end of the episode.
By the end of the series.
By the end of the series, yes.
Of course, you're going to leave us hanging like a good television show.
Oh, yes. We're going to leave more than just hanging.
When I am done watching this, I'm going to want more, aren't I?
You absolutely will. It's like, have you ever had one empanada?
No, I can't have one empanada. I was just in Puerto Rico and I had a chicken empanada and I had to order a second one.
Because they come in pairs.
And we're ready for season 2.
Oh,
come on.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Season 2.
Let's go.
Well, it comes out July. We're going to stream the whole thing July 7th, 4th of July week when you're home after you've eaten your hot dogs and hamburgers.
That's right. After you've eaten make sure you have a good, yummy, delicious meal because we're going to serve it up nice and hot for you.
Serve it up. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
It's so nice to meet you.
So nice
Looking
to
forward
meet
to
you.
it. All right, hello. All right, so here's my beef with you.
Tell me.
You go to Pace University.
I did.
You went to Pace University. He's like one day out of Pace University. And on an Amazon Prime series.
It's very, very lucky.
No,
Drew
that's
Kotsur.
called talent.
Thank you very much.
What was it like the moment you got the call that you had booked this gig?
You know, it was really, really just surreal. And it was just because someone saw me and thought I could do well. And that's all we're looking for, right?
That's right.
Someone sees something in you and you're
Yes.
waiting for that belief. So that's what it felt mostly. It's just, wow, someone saw me as this and I can't wait to just deliver. I felt such a responsibility to do well. Yeah.
Well, how was the education and then being out here in the street and self-taping and sending in auditions and getting on set? How important was education and what you learned through your acting experience to bring on set for this project?
Super, super important. I think everybody should find some form of acting school, right? It doesn't have to be the same for everyone, but some form of acting training so that you show up on set. And I didn't feel nervous because I knew what to do ultimately. You know, you show up on set and you do your work. And also, I just think in terms of self-taping and the grind of it and everything, like find your people. You know, you go to school and you find your fellow actors and they're the ones who are going to get you through the moments when you're not working.
I'm really good at reading sides. I'm just saying.
I will call you.
All right, that's it. I'm done. I'm
You got
cheap
it.
too. I want to. Congratulations.
For
We're so
free.
free. Of course,
Come
for
on.
free. For free. Of course, we're people now.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you very
Really
much.
excited to check it out. I
So-
love an executive producer.
An executive producer.
Here
I am.
You're an executive producer.
Yes.
What made you be drawn to this project?
Well, I loved Sweeney Todd.
Me too.
But when I read that it was first of all, I'm obsessed with Daphne Rubin Vega.
Me too.
We all should be. She's a goddess. And I had heard she did this podcast, and I was like, I gotta listen to that podcast. And then I heard it is Sweeney Todd, but a woman in Washington Heights, and instead of meat pies, it's empanadas. I'm in.
I love an empanada.
I love an empanada too. I don't know if you'd like our empanadas.
No, I'm scared to have an empanada ever again. I'm scared to have an empanada. Definitely not a beef one.
Yes.
What was the process now to see it go from filming and on set and on the page to now being on the screen and here at Tribeca?
Oh my gosh, it's wonderful. You know, Justina Machado is one of my closest friends. I feel she's one of the best living actresses. And to have her have this moment where we've seen her play a sweetheart a million times, and now today is not the day. Today is not the day. Don't mess with Dolores Roach.
I'm going to order empanadas tomorrow, and I'm going to think about you.
Thank you.
I'm going to watch the show.
She kills it literally and figuratively, okay?
We'll be streaming. We're ready.
All right.
Thank you. So nice to meet you. Congratulations. And I'm thinking about empanadas. I like cheese. You know, the best empanada I ever had was in Puerto Rico recently. It was a chicken and cheese empanada from a gas station, but there was no gas at the gas. Don't ask questions. We had an empanada. Sometimes there's guava in them. I like guava, but the chicken and cheese, it came right out of the gas station. I don't know if that makes me feel sanitary or say. Would you eat chicken from a gas station? Not like fried chicken. You know, some places have fried chicken in the gas station. Like Church's Chicken used to be in Richfield Park. All right, I have to go. There you have it. Us at the Tribeca Film Festival. I had really a good time. I watched this right along with all of you all because I have not seen this since we did this a couple of weeks ago, and it's really fun. I love a red carpet, and we never did a red carpet full show about a red carpet. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you, everybody who tuned in. Thank you to my camera person with the most, Adrienne Colon, for being on the carpet with me. It was so funny. She literally cried when I told her we got to work the Tribeca Film Festival. She cried. Because she grew up loving movies, so it was really great to be there. We'll have more red carpets for you. We're taking a little break in August, but we have shows for you for the rest of the month, and we'll be with at Broadway Barks this week, and we'll hopefully be seeing some famous people there like Bernadette Peters, Josh Groban, JoJo, etc. See the job I did? Oh, sexy gray room! Come on, painter! I may take this on as a new job. We're back. Make sure tonight you watch the new Roundtable Talks with Richard Skipper and Susie Mosher. It's really great about cabaret and how to make good art. And also up now, the other day from 4th of July, we have a really good Valika B and Crystal and Dr. Nicole, and all of that is all. Just follow us, stream us, share us with a friend. God bless you all for being here. Y'all are such troopers. I love you for being here. I love you for watching. We'll be back on Thursday next week at 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific. We're back to Thursdays. We're back. Remember, there's more good in the world than bad. There's more love than there is hate. You're a part of that. So stay true to you, and I love you all for being here. God bless you all. Thank you. Hold on, Christine. I can't see anything. Oh, thank you. I love you for loving this messy show, and I'm not going anywhere. I appreciate you all. Till next time, bye, everybody. Good night.